Happy New Year! Thank you for tuning into Moo Outdoors. Today I want to share with you guys how to craft from a kayak. I really wanted to do this underwater, but with the nasty storms we're having right now, I could not get out on the water. So I got two most popular crab traps that people use from the kayak. This one is the rectangular folding trap. This one does fold flat. It's got one-way swinging door on four sides, and it's got two circular escape hole on two sides, and it's got a door on top where you can retrieve the crab. Disadvantage is it will take the crab to take longer time to find the way in, and it's kind of bulky. I could probably only fit two of these on the stern of my kayak. Some people leave this flat on the kayak and get on the water and set everything well, but I think it's way too much work to be done on the water. The advantage is once the crab gets inside, it's almost impossible for them to escape unless they're small enough to escape from the escape hole. And per regulation, you could use this for longer soaks, 2+ hours, overnight, multi-day. So this really shines when you want to do a longer soak. Okay, this one is a conical crab trap, aka deluxe hook net. This is my go-to. The disadvantage is, per regulation, if this is unattended for more than 2 hours, it's considered abandoned, so the Fish and Wildlife can confiscate it. The other disadvantage is crab can more easily escape the trap. The shape of it kind of prevents them from escaping, but with a large opening, you are going to have some crab escaping. Advantage is it takes no time for the crab to get into the trap, and it's stackable. Even after you bait it, you put the rope in there, you put buoy in there, it's still stackable. I can easily stack 3 of these on the stern of my kayak. I've also used this on the longer soak, more than a few hours overnight, but use it as your own risk. Alright, well, let's go over how to set up the trap. So most of the time I'm using a fish carcass, lingcod, rockfish, striper, halibut, salmon, whatnot. I basically put them in the center and zip tie it, a couple zip ties, and good to go. You can also use one of these bait containers. This is the plastic one. Screw top, plastic. You can put your bait in here and you can zip tie it right in the center. There are bait cages, there are mash. I think they all work great. There are two commonly used rope for crab trap. One is a poly rope, and one is a lead core, aka weighted rope. The advantage of poly rope is they're less expensive and they're lighter, but the disadvantage is they get tangled up easily and they float on the water. So when you're using a poly rope, you want to weigh it down using a 2-ounce to 4-ounce sinker. With the lead core weighted line, they sink in the water, so you don't have to add any weights, and they are tangle resistant. So I rarely get this thing get tangled up on me. Attaching a rope to the crab trap, basically what I do is I make a overhead knot on each end and make a loop. One is smaller and one is bigger, and I'll show you why. So you got your crab trap here, and you got your harness, and you're going to have a loop at the harness. I basically make a loop-to-loop connection. I feed a smaller loop into the harness loop, and I feed the rope through it. There you go. Now I got crab trap, which is baited with the rope. I like to use 25 sections of the rope. Depends on where I go. I go either 1 section of 25 or 2 sections of 25, or sometimes 4 sections of 25. If I'm crabbing at Bodega Bay inside the jetty, 25 feet of rope is plenty. And if I'm paddling out a little bit further, a quarter mile to half a mile at Bodega Bay, or if I'm crabbing at Half Moon Bay, I use two sections of 25 feet rope, which is 50 feet. Same thing, loop to loop connection. So now I got baited crab trap with the 50 feet of rope. So how much rope do you need? Obviously you want to have some extra rope, but not too much. You want to compensate for the swell, the wave, and the tide. So you want some extra rope, but not too much. I think the sweet spot is extra 20%. If you are crabbing at 40 feet depth, 40 plus 20% is 48 feet. So 50 feet of rope will be perfect. If you're crabbing 20 or under 20, one section of 25 will be perfect. And what if you are crabbing at 30 feet? Obviously 50 feet is going to be way too long because your buoy is going to be here, crab trap is going to be way over there. So you need to decrease the rope length by 14 feet. So what I do is bunch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And zip tie it. Now I got a 36 feet of rope, which is perfect for 30 feet. I know some people use laundry detergent containers or painted water jug like this, but I don't recommend it because over time they're going to crack and they're going to get filled with water and they're going to sink. That means you're going to lose your whole setup. I recommend using a high density closed cell foam float like this, and I also attached a plastic float. Basically you run the rope through, tie overhead knot, make a loop on both ends, and you also want to write down your Go ID number, which is your fishing license number, and your name or your initial on it. I like to use yellow big float and a smaller red float. That way from the distance I can tell this is mine. And remember on the rope I tied a big loop on one end, big enough so that you could feed your float through it. And there you have it. So before I get on the water, I set up 3 of this trap. I bait it, I attach the rope, attach the buoy. I stack 3 of this and put it on the stern of my kayak. And once I get in the water, I grab one of them out, put it on my lap, and I throw the buoy overboard. And I just keep feeding the line while I'm drifting with the current. Make sure the rope is not tangled. And when I'm done, I pretty much throw the crab trap overboard. I repeat this process with the rest of my trap. And after 30 minutes to an hour, I pull it up, and if I have crab, I grab it out and then throw it back in the same location. If I don't have any crabs, I pack everything up. And I paddle to different location and just repeat the process. And I'm gonna drop one here, kind of closer to the jetty. I'm baiting with some lingcod and a rockfish carcass. Condition is not too bad. Slight breeze, but we got a little bit of swell.
maybe a 5 foot or so. I'm dropping at around 33 feet of water.
If you have any questions or if you want to add anything, please comment down below. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and feel free to ring the bell. Stay tuned for more, and go outside and enjoy the outdoors.